What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with a brand new top 10 for you guys. Now today we are covering, as you can probably tell from the title, top 10 flyers. Now we were going to do top 5, top 6, top 7, whatever the heck, other number, but we decided that we would rather include most of the flyers than leave out some exclusive ones that we definitely wanted to put on this list. So that is why we've gone with the top 10 list instead of like top 5, because there's just a lot more flyers nowadays than there is, well, that there used to be, I guess you could say. So let's jump straight into the list and take a look at what we've got in store. Now, coming in at number 10, we have none other than the Pelagonis. Now, the Pelagonis is, in my opinion, a good mount. I don't really use it all that often, hence why it's closer to the 10 than it is to the 1. So the Pelagonis it's still a good mount. You can effectively use this guy to fly in the air, ride on the water, regenerate his stamina in the water, and then gain a crap ton of organic polymer with this guy. This guy is one of the best organic polymer gatherers in the game, and you can definitely utilize that with this guy. Now, another really unique ability that no other dinosaur has, as far as I've been able to tell, is that the Pelagonis can effectively harvest and kill a dinosaur or creature in one bite. Now, what I mean by that is when you actually kill a creature with another mount, you don't get any of its resources straight away. You actually have to kill it first, and then you need to take another bite or attack it again in order to get its resources. The Pelagonis, however, actually gathers it all in one bite. Now, we just want to showcase that to you here. This pteranodon has so willingly offered to be our assistant in this matter, so let's just grab ourselves a bowler, unless, of course, he flies off. Come back, Mr. Pteranodon. We just want to be your friend. Please, good sir. Please. You know what? Stuff you, Pteranodon. We're just going to kill the dodos instead because, well, they're a lot easier to kill. So, you'll see there that the dodo is looking pretty bloody, but we'll actually gather it all. See there you go. So we actually killed the dodo and gathered at the same time. No other creature, as far as I can tell, has the ability to do this. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why is that useful for? Well, effectively, consider the fact that, you're on the Ragnarok map. You're flying around to the volcano. You're trying to get organic polymer from mantises. You can fly around and kill the mantises with your Pelagonis, and you won't have to bother about landing to try and get the meat or the resources or the organic polymer. You can just fly around, hit it with the beak, and grab the organic polymer. That is why the Pelagonis has managed to make it onto this list, because of that unique ability and his ability to land on the water, turn into a little jet ski, and just go absolutely bonkers, which is great. So, Pelagonis is in at number 10 on this list. Now, at number 9, we have the lemantria. I'm a really big fan of the lemantria. I really enjoy it. It doesn't have any attacking moves, I guess you could say. It's only got one ability, which is its dust attack. Now, you saw there we just squirted out a whole heap of butt juices from the moth. Now, what this effectively does is it slows down anything it hits by 90%, which is a great way to get away from potential PvPers or slow them down from attacking your base. You see there we just hit the pteranodon, and look how much slower he is while walking. You can effectively use this ability as well to help you tame creatures if you so choose to. However, do be warned, it does drain a lot of stamina from the lemantria. However, with a few levels you could easily bump that up a little bit, and he's not a bad flyer. He is pretty fast and he's really small, so you can use this to zip around rather effectively as well, which is pretty good. But like I said, that's only the real thing that the moth can do. He doesn't have a lot of weight on him, he doesn't have a lot of stamina, so do take that into mind. But his main ability, which no other creature has, is his little butt squirting ability, which slows down everything immensely by 90%. Look how much slower these guys are doing. It's like we just turned it into a slow-mo movie. Now, this effect only does last for 10 seconds, so do take that into mind as well. But yeah, that is why the moth is number 9 on this list. He's also pretty cool looking. Now, coming in at number 7, we have none other than the thornis. Now, this guy is a huge pain in my rear. I absolutely hate this guy. He's just so annoying when you find him in the wild. But when you tame these guys up, they can be pretty useful. So effectively what you can do with these guys is you can actually throw them into the ocean, and they will go out, gather you fish and prime meat, if you can get him to freaking work properly. You can get him to go out, gather prime fish meat, from the ocean and fish meat, and you can also use him to steal items from other players, which is his main use in retrospect. Let's just be real here. There's no other real use for this guy except just to steal items from other players. Now, all you need to do is throw this guy out, and you'll actually go out, hunt and gather items from players or the fish. Now, he can be a little bit buggy sometimes, but they do need to be thrown out over water for them to be able to work. Now, you can steal weapons, items, food stuff, anything from another player. Items in their hotbar even. It's great. It makes PvPing a whole lot harder on the person attacking you if you can get your icky thornis to go out and attack and deal some damage and steal items. You can see there he goes on his merry way looking for some fish to hunt, but it looks like he's going to come straight back to us because he didn't actually find anything. So that is the main use of these guys. He is technically a flying creature, hence why he is on this list. But, you know, if you ever need a way to get fish meat, prime fish meat, just get one of these guys up and they'll actually go out and hunt them for you. You can see he's currently being attacked by a baryonyx, well, about to be anyway. And then they will come back and they can actually do some weird stuff going on. They're really weird sometimes. Sometimes they hunt, sometimes they don't. But that is why the icky thornis is number 7 on this list. Now, at number 6, we have the tapajara, or the tapajara, the tapajura, however the heck you want to pronounce it. Now, this guy is number 6 on the list. The reason he's not higher up is because, well, we feel like there are other dinosaurs that could overtake his position, especially with the recent tech saddle nerf that he got, which effectively reduces his range by up to 75%. That seems like a very big nerf. Now, the tapajara is able to pivot on the spot, full 360 rotation moving. He can move in any direction, much like the Gigantopithecus, except in the air. And another added benefit is that you can house 3 players on his saddle. So you can have someone on the front pointing forward, someone on the back pointing backwards. Now, this allows you to, well, it allows them to obviously use weapons and fire. Now, you can also land with the tapajara on the side of cliffs like we've done so just here, and he can actually pull out weapons and use weapons on his back while he's stationary, which is a great way to, you know, tame higher stuff or just avoid getting damaged by stuff that you're trying to tame, or just avoid damage in general. So he's a great mount to have as well. I do regret not putting him higher on this list because he is one of my personal favorites. However, we do have to take into account all the other tames that are flying. So yeah, that is why the tapajara is number 6 on this list. So coming in at number 5, we have the Phoenix. Now, the Phoenix is a great mount to have. It's exclusive only to Scorched Earth, so do take that in mind as well. But the Phoenix here has quite a few abilities that make him really useful to have. Now, in my opinion, he's more of a token mount than anything because he's not that amazing, hence why he's so far up on the list in comparison to some of the other creatures that are on the list. And we're about to get killed. So yeah, the Phoenix, he's got the ability to smelt items in his inventory. So you've got like your metals, you've got your food and all that. He can actually smelt that. Now, as well as that, he's also able to set dinosaurs on fire. You can see these raptors are currently burning to smithereens because our Phoenix decides to kill them and set them on fire. Now, you can also do this with any other creature found throughout the map. Now, he also has another rather unique ability where he actually is able to glide through the air while on fire. Now, we're just going to have to manage to get back onto him to showcase to you guys this ability, but he can also be a portable turret almost, where he's able to spit fireballs out at enemies. You can see here, hold on, we'll do the fireball spit. There you go, there. You can see he spits fireballs out at enemies. He's got a regular peck attack, and he can also pick up small creatures. Now, he also has a very fast gliding / flying ability where he flaps and he turns into a glide, and you can actually drop fireballs on top of your opponents or enemy dinosaurs and set them alight, unless of course you get targeted by absolutely everything that can pull you off a mount. So this is why the Phoenix is number 5 on this list, because he's got those unique abilities. So now in at number 4 we have the pteranodon. Now the pteranodon is one of the easiest creatures to tame in all of Ark. He's also one of the fastest flying creatures. Now, obviously, there are faster creatures than the Pteranodon, but he is one of the easiest to tame, one of the most accessible because there are Pteranodons bloody everywhere you look, and he's one of the fastest. Hence why he's number 4 on this list because, well, I feel like he outweighs the usefulness of some of the other dinos, especially since he's so easy and faster than them. Now, the Pteranodon has a couple of unique abilities. Well, he only really has one, I guess. He has a barrel roll. Now, this barrel roll effectively can double his melee damage and his gathering rate, because if you just use his regular bite, you'll find that you don't actually gather as much as you could possibly with the barrel roll. The barrel roll is a great way to go about collecting resources or meat or keratin or hide or chitin or organic polymer, whatever the heck you want to gather with him, because he does that barrel roll and it increases his melee damage that he does. Now you can also turn these guys into fighters by increasing their melee damage exponentially, because that will deal a lot more damage to other players, other dinosaurs, and you can easily fell alphas with the pteranodon. I remember in the good old days of Ark, before they nerfed his barrel roll, that you could take out alpha carnos, alpha rexes with the pteranodon's barrel roll. It was a great time to be alive until they nerfed it. So yeah, there's nothing really else to say about the pteranodon. He does have the ability to pick up players and small dinos with his feet, but you know, that's all he really has for himself. The reason he's so high up is because he's a good mount, he's easy to get, he's fast, and you know, you can easily use this guy to travel the map real quickly. So yeah, pteranodon, number 4. Alrighty, and at number 3 we have none other than the griffin. The griffin is also a great mount to have. However, we do have higher dudes that you guys are probably going to get salty at me for further down the list. Now, the griffin's main ability is his dive bomb, which allows him to travel extremely fast. It allows him to do a dive, swipe, and dive bomb attack, which does a lot of damage to enemy creatures. Now, let's just fly up here. It is raining and foggy. I apologize for that. I don't control the weather in Ark, unfortunately. It kind of adds to a little cool effect to the terrain and whatnot. Alright, so we need to find okay, so here's a trike. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys the dive bomb ability with the griffin. Now, alongside the dive bomb ability, the griffin also has the ability to pick up dinosaurs, small mounts anyway. So, okay, that did absolutely nothing. Sometimes the griffin is a little bit buggy in terms of doing the dive bomb attack, which is really annoying sometimes, because if you go to do it and you can't pull it off, well, then you just fail and look like a dope. So, there is the swipe attack. You can see there the amount of damage that the griffin did there. That swipe attack is the griffin's strongest attack. He does have the dive bomb attack, which you essentially just... Seriously, we got caught on the bloody seagull. Which you just plummet straight down to earth. I swear to gosh, this is so annoying sometimes. So this attack, you just plummet straight down to earth. However, do be careful, because if you do land on a dinosaur, like you did that stupid seagull, you will get pulled out of it. Here we go. And you can see there is the dive bomb attack. Now, that is its second strongest attack. The dive clawing attack is its strongest, and like I said, it also allows it to move faster through the air, which is useful for traversing terrain, so we'll show you guys now. There we go. You can see it gets the little wind resistant, not wind resistant thing, the little wind speedy thing, which makes it travel faster. However, you do have to still be careful, but the griffin is still a great mount to have. Now, guys, before we continue on in this video, I just want to make a quick little announcement. We have officially screwed up the countdown on this, so we accidentally have skipped out a number, so bear with me on that. Now, unfortunately, we were going to have to take this to number 0, so technically think of it like a top 10, a top 9 list. However, we've just stuffed it up, so bear with me. You'll get what I mean. Just think the dinos that I'm saying, they're the number before. So, for example, we said the griffin was number 3. Well, it's technically supposed to be number 4, but we're going to continue on in this fashion, just not to confuse you guys. So, technically, number 1 will be number 0. So, let's move on to number 2. Now, number 2, which is supposed to be number 3, is none other than the Argy. Ever since the Argy received the TLC buff, he has been ridiculously good. Not only does his saddle act as a portable smithy, he also now has the ability to pick up Ankies and Dodicaruses, as well as other creatures, and he has lost the ability to pick up other creatures as well, but the Anki and the Dodix are the two heavy hitters. This effectively means that you can harvest metal at an increasingly fast rate in comparison to how you used to do it before. Before, the only creatures that were able to pick up Ankies were Wyverns and Quetzals. However, that has now changed with the Argy having that ability, which makes metal farming a whole lot easier. That is the main reason why the Argy is number 2 on this list, because of that ability alone. However, he also does have another ability where he has the ability to actually regenerate his health from consuming a corpse. Now, this makes him really good because you can turn these guys into battle Argies. I love how I'm saying this, and there's absolutely no dinosaurs around here to showcase to you that ability, because... So the Argy can effectively turn into a battling, rampaging machine, which will easily be able to take on alphas. You can effectively just fly around, kill a bunch of corpses in the area, and then go fly, attack the alpha, and then head back to those corpses, get that health regeneration buff, fly back to the alpha, and kill the alpha. Now, as well as that, these guys have always had great weight limits. However, their weight limit is just ridiculous. So you can carry the Anki that has crazy weights, and you can even put metal on its inventory to reduce the load. Now, as well as that, the Argy also reduces the amount of resources in its inventory. Now we're just going to quickly showcase to you its regeneration ability. There you go, there you can see in the top right corner we've got a little health thing popping up. That means we are regenerating health. Now, like I was saying, he also reduces the amount of weight that resources weigh in his inventory. So, a stack of 200 metal ingots normally weighs 200, however, in an RG's inventory, it is halved to 100. This is a lot of the same for a lot of other materials as well, such as stone, obsidian, and crystal. They're the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. There are some other resources as well, but that is the main primary ability and reason why that the RG is located at number 2 on this list. Now, number 1, which isn't technically number 1, it's number 2, is none other than the Wyverns. Now, the Wyverns are absolutely wonderful flyers. They are one of the fastest flyers in the game. I think they're only second. No, I think they have the fastest base speed in the entire game. They are faster than pteranodons. The only thing that's actually faster than them is the griffin while dive bombing. They're actually faster than griffins as well. So, yeah. So, the Wyverns are number 1 on this list, technically number 2, because they're just great flyers. They have the ability to pick up large tames and dinos as well, such as mammoths, carnos, you know, most of the larger stuff that Quetzals can actually pick up. They can't pick up the gigantic stuff, obviously, however, they still are able to pick up a lot of things. Now, as well as that, each of the Wyverns have their own unique abilities. The Poison Wyvern, which we're running at the moment, has the ability to spit crazy balls of poison, which damage Mount and Tame alike. Wait, Mount and Tame, they're the same thing. Player and Tame alike. As well as that, the Lightning Wyverns have the ability to deal insane amounts of damage with their Lightning Breath. And then the Fire Wyverns have the ability to set things on fire. Now, that is the main reason these guys are on this list. Now, they're so far up because they are rather difficult to obtain if you don't have the right stuff. And they're difficult to raise since you need to raise them from the fact that they are hatched from eggs. So, yeah, Wyverns are number 2/number 1 on this list. And finally, number 0/number 1, the real number 1, is none other than the Quetzal. Now, the Quetzal is number 1. It's higher than the Wyvern because it has the ability to wield a platform saddle. And it has a saddle blueprint as well, which makes it a little bit more defensible than the Wyvern. They are significantly slower than the Wyvern, however, they do make up for that with their huge carry weight. You can see there, this Quetzal here has 1,440 carry weight, which is a crazy amount of weight. Now, you can buff these guys up, obviously, but these guys are just great because they've got the platform saddle. They can pick up pretty much most of the creatures found through Ark, which makes them really valuable. You can effectively turn them into a mobile taming pen if you so choose to. You can even team up other Quetzals with a Quetzal. These guys are just great all-round mounts to have, and they are number 1 on the top 10 flyers list. Because of those reasons that we've stated, there really isn't any other reason as to why the Quetzal is number 1. If they didn't have the platform saddle, we would probably put the Wyverns at number 1 on this list. However, the Quetzal just takes the cake because of the platform saddle. You can turn it into a mobile refining forge while you have your Anki on an enable wandering and swing it around while holding it, which is a great way to go about gathering metal. You can build a portable base. You can do whatever the heck you want on the back of a Quetzal platform saddle. So take that into mind, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, because that will conclude it for today. So thank you very much for watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, let me know what you liked about it down below in the comments. If you didn't agree with my numbers or my dinosaurs on this list, let me know down below as well, and we'll discuss about it. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one. I got this soda.